Hi everyone, in this lecture we are going to talk about other operations that NumPy provides us to work with arrays. NumPy has a bunch of array related functions which are very useful when you are working with machine learning models. These are very specific to how machine learning requires data to be formatted, how it outputs predictions, and so on. So first off, we have imported NumPy, and I've also selected the salary CSV file from the data folder where we have our salaries. Now the salaries is going to be a one-dimensional array, and if you take a look at the shape of the salaries, I'm just going to copy this shape and let's provide it here. Dot shape. This is going to provide us 1147. So there are 1147 entries within the salary array. The first function that we are going to work with is going to be the argmax. So np.argmax, and I'm going to provide salaries in here. The argmax function returns the indices of maximum values along an axis of a NumPy array. So 246. What does this number mean? It means that the highest salary has occurred at the index 246. So if I select my salaries and if I provide 246 there, $850,000 is the highest salary. We have an argmin function. Let's pass on the salaries. This is going to provide us with the index for the smallest salary. For the minimum salary. So salaries, let's provide, what is the index? 282, and it is 11,400. The next function is np.argsort, pass in salaries. This is going to return the indices of sorted values in this array. So it's going to start from 282, which we know is the smallest salary, 11,400, and it is going to go to 246, which we know is the highest salary, which is 850,000. So you can see it basically proved our argmin and argmax. We can also provide or specify the sorting algorithm, which is basically going to do the same thing. It is just an extra argument that you could provide. So I'm going to say np.argsort salaries, and then you need to provide what kind of sorting algorithm do you want. I'm going to say merge sort. The result is going to be the same. There we go. So we got 282 the smallest, 246 the largest. We can also use array indexing to display the salaries in sorted order. Now these are the indices of the salaries, right? How can we display the actual salaries in the sorted order? How can we do that? We can do that using array indexing, which we have talked about. So I'm going to say np.argsort. Let's pass in salaries, and we could say the kind is merge sort. And now if I run this is going to give us the actual salaries. So the smallest is 11,400, and the largest is 850,000. Let's take a look at another example, and that is the where function. The where function works exactly the same way like the where clause in SQL, the where function in SQL Alchemy, where you provide some sort of condition, and if that condition is satisfied, then the records will be returned. There is a lot of R's, so it's a tongue twister. Greater than 100. So if the records they are satisfied, then they will be returned, something like that. I'm going to say np.where salaries. Okay, salaries. If the salaries are greater than, let's say, 100,000, then I want to return them and store them within this array. Let's take a look at that. This is just going to return the indices for the salaries which are greater than 100. Again, where returns the indices. If you want to find the actual salaries, you need to do the array indexing, which we have talked about. Let's take a look at the length of this array. There are, how come there are, okay, let's take a look at the, because this is a tuple, we need to select the first item, which is a list. You can see this list right here. That's why I need to provide in a 0, then it is going to give me the length. The tuple itself has only one item. That's why you saw 1. But the list within that tuple, which is the item of that tuple, it has 72 items. That's why the length is 72. That's why we had to grab the first item, the first and the last one. Let's find the actual salaries. How can we find the actual salaries? We need to do the array indexing. Do that. These are the actual salaries which are greater than $100,000. So you can see that 103, 220, and so on and so forth. We can find, excuse me, the mean for all the salaries, or all the salaries which are above the average. So I'm going to say condition. Salaries which are above the np.mean. Now you can see how easy this is. So you have like 72. You have how many salaries? 1147 salaries. So you could sit down and count all of them and find the max, or you could just write 2 lines of Python code, and it is going to tell you what is the average salary for that. Okay. Let's pass in salaries. And now let's actually extract the salaries. So I'm going to say extract condition and the array salaries. These are the actual salaries, the NP mean. Okay, we wanted to find the salaries which are above the average, and these are the salaries which are actually above the average. These are all those salaries. Now, you might be saying, okay, what is the average? So I know that this is greater than that. And the average is easy. You just say np.mean and pass in the array. It is going to count the average. So the average is 55,894. All the salaries that you see here, they are greater than 55,000, like 56, like 59,000, 59, 57, 59. So all of them are greater than 55,894. With this, our lecture comes to an end. See you in the next one.